the safari business in Zimbabwe, or how do you get from there sort of to here into the U.S.?
Yeah, so we tried to, but during the early 2000s, Zimbabwe was under something called the Land Reform Campaign, which was President Robert Mugabe at the time, who declared himself supreme leader for life. He did this thing where...
Oh, like a boss, huh? Like Birdman.
Yeah, he came in hard, yeah. And he made it, this land reform made it so that it was very, very hard. Like, my family's 6th generation Zimbabwe, but basically it was a race war. And if you were white, you weren't supposed... There was a land reform campaign passed that meant that if you were black and you had heritage, you could come and take that land away.
No way.
Because, of colonial settlement and things like that. Obviously, I grew up long after any colonial settlement took place. But yeah, we had gunfights and we had, neighbors murdered and punguis, which is indoctrination through torture into the political party, the ZANU-PF political party. There was some crazy political turmoil.
Zimbabwe's land reform refers to a controversial program that began in 1980 and escalated in 2000, redistributing farmland from white commercial farmers to black Zimbabweans. So your family was...
We were farmers.
So you were farmers, and this happened as you guys were there?
So when I was a kid, I mean, it says here 1980 is when it started, which it may have, but when I was a kid, we never locked our doors. There was we didn't have barbed wire fences, nothing. It was a very safe, very peaceful country. But in like 99, 2000, and then 2001 when we left, it got really bad really quickly. And it was sort of an attempt by Robert Mugabe to retain power for his party, the ZANU-PF political party.
Oh, I see. So his party would feel like maybe they were going to be pushed out, and so he's like, I need to do something drastic right now in order to stay in.
Exactly.
And so I'm going to return this colonialized land
to the people,
from whites to the black to the black people.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so but you saw that like in neighbors, you saw people's lands being taken over, stuff like that?
I saw a kid get shot in the head. We saw everything. It was crazy. Yeah. I mean, there were gunfights. We had these war veterans settling on the fence lines. We were the smallest farm in the Shamva district. That was where I grew up. And so we were the last ones to get taken because we had the lowest political incentive or financial incentive, right? So you look at the area where we lived, there were all these huge farms, right? $1 million a year plus tobacco farms and things. We were a tiny little Ulstrom area, which is an exotic flower farm. And so we were the last ones to get grabbed because why bother with us, right?
We'll get them at the end.
Exactly.
Right.
So we saw neighbors get murdered, these punguis, like I said, which is indoctrination through torture, crazy war chants, shootouts, everything. It was nuts for a little while.
And would these groups just kind of come like in just trucks, like, and sort of, or would they come in like force? Was it the government coming, or was it just like citizens, black citizens?
It was pretty much just citizens, like unemployed citizens, basically. Right. And for the majority, it was kids with guns.
Wow.
You're 14, 15 years old, you grew up maybe on the streets of Harare, and all of a sudden you have this dictator like president going, hey, those rich white guys over there, go get them.
Right.
And they're like, okay, you know, they call it war veterans that survived the war. There were no war veterans. It was just kids with guns, like 14 to 20-year-old kids.
Wow.
And that's what, shootouts and all this. But all that being said, I don't want to paint a bad light on it. It was an incredible childhood. There was just a couple rough years there. Yeah.
Well, one thing that's fascinating about Africa, even like places that I've been there, is you see the race, like the racial colonial, you see that. It's very evident in a lot of places. You also see a lot of like black leadership that comes into power and gets very desperate and will try to own everything themselves as well. It's a
tribal mentality, right? It's like I come from this culture, whether it's Shona, Zulu, whatever it happens to be, and that